Hello, this is Ed Skowneski playing my economic systems game. Now this game is going to be used as a tool to help reinforce concepts from our economic systems unit. It says it right on the beginning, so when a student gets into the game they can see exactly what they are doing and why. Now before we get started, I want to point out a couple features. As we're looking at the game, on the lower left hand side is a question mark for students to be able to click on and get the instructions of the game. Students can click on this question mark at any time to be able to see or identify what they are supposed to be doing. Also on the right hand side is the leaderboard, and so students can see how other students have done while playing this game in the past. To get started, we press the green start button in the lower right hand corner. Now music plays as soon as you get into the game. Now you can select between 1, 2, or 3 players when playing. For right now I'm going to select 1 player. Now we are also able to customize our name. So students can put a name, or if they're working in a group, come up with a group name. I'm going to mute the music to be able to hear me while playing this game, but the music will play the entire time. And so after we get in, it says my name or the username that I put in, and it reminds me to use buzz key A, and I'll show that once we get into the game. But in order to answer a question, I have to buzz in. It also says if not on mobile, you may click the user or press the buzz key, which is the user down below here where it says my name. So on a mobile, you would have to press the player in order to answer a question, which means if the student was using their phone, they would have to press the player to answer the question. So to get started, we press the green button. Okay, now we have 4 different categories for students to choose from. This is a Jeopardy style game. Each question is given a certain amount of points as the questions go along. So from 100 to 200, 200 to 300, 300 to 400, they do get a little bit more difficult as you go along. Okay, and so for my 4 categories is economic systems, basic economics, factors of production, and economic problems. And so I'm going to start with economic systems for 100. Okay, and so it says what type of economic system has total control over their economy. And now it gives us 3 different answer choices. Okay, command economy, socialism, or capitalism. When I have identified what the correct answer is, I will have to click on my little icon here to buzz in. That makes the noise once you buzz in, and on the lower left hand side there is a timer, so I have 30 seconds in order to answer the question. So the correct answer is command economy, so I'm going to click the correct answer. And so obviously we have a ding that comes up and it says correct, good job, to let you know that you got that answer correct. We hit the next button. Okay, now down below we can see that we have 100 points added on to our icon. Okay, now we'll go to economic systems for 200. So it says what is a traditional economy largely based on? Okay, again 3 answer choices: customs, technology, and profit. Now to demonstrate, if I did not buzz in and I went straight to the correct answer, which is customs, it will remind me.
First buzz in.
It will remind me that I need to buzz in. Now, with playing with 1 player, that's not as important. But when you're playing with 2 or 3 players, in order to answer the question first, you're going to have to buzz in. So I'll have to go down, click my icon, buzz in, and then now the timer starts, and I'm able to correctly answer the question. I can hit next. And now I have 300 points, so the 100 from the first question and the 200 from the second question. We'll now move on to my third question, so economic systems for 300. Okay, so in a market economy, who decides on what to produce? Producers, government, or consumers? Now the correct answer is producers, but as an example of what happens when you get a question wrong, I'm going to click on the government. So I'm going to buzz in. My timer starts. Now the correct answer is producers, but I'm going to click on the government.
Oops, I'm sorry, that's not correct.
And so when you incorrectly answer a question, it tells you, number one, that you answered it incorrectly, but then it also will highlight what the correct answer is. And I think this is great, so if a student genuinely does not know the answer to a question, that they're going to be immediately directed to what the correct question is. Okay, and the entire point of me creating this game is to use it as a study tool for my students, and so they're going to be using this as a study tool for their summative assessment. And so if there's something that they don't know, we can instantly create an intervention and show them what the correct answer is and should be moving forward. And one thing I'll point out, I'm down to 0 points. So I had 300 before answering that question, and since I answered it wrong, it subtracted the point total amount, which was 300. Okay. Another thing I would like to point out is if we scroll down a little bit, students have the opportunity to ask a question. Okay, and so they could potentially ask me any question that they want, meaning that if there was something that was confusing for one of the questions, or why was one question right and one question wrong, they can post it on here. And then it posts to me as the instructor. Also, I can start a new discussion, and so I could have other students start a discussion or create some kind of question for the rest of the class. So it's just like a discussion board post, but again, they can post their questions on here. And so my idea is that when students are doing this, since I do not have the capability of creating a double jeopardy or a final jeopardy question, for students to post at least one of their own questions on here and have other students answer them. Now, a more difficult question here, North Korea has what type of economic system? So now we're not dealing with a definition or just some general term. We have to actually know, okay, identify where's North Korea located at and what type of economic system do they have or do they use. Okay, now the correct answer is communism. So I'll buzz in, timer will start, and I'll click on communism. Again, we get the ding for a correct or a good job. So as students go through each of the questions, they disappear. And so now we have cleared out the economic systems category, and we're not able to answer any of those questions any longer. Okay, and so now we would have to go to a new category, and students do not have to go in order. So if they wanted to use economic problems for 300, they could click on that and go right into that question. So the question is, John gives up working to study for a math test, or to study for a test. This is an example of, and so either opportunity cost, marginal benefit, or marginal cost. So to answer, ding in, clock starts, correct answer, opportunity cost. We hit next, and now that has disappeared. And so again, the students do not have to go in order. Okay, and the main objective for this game is going to be used as a study tool. And so when a student has a summative assessment coming up, we can create a game like this for them to have an interactive and fun way of going over their materials. Okay, and I wanted to create a game that would replace just a simple study guide where students are writing down definitions. And so this is more of an exciting and engaging way. And students can compete against one another to have the highest score, or to collaborate with one another and working in teams. And so this allows, or this type of game allows for all of that to take place.